Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of Spoiler Force Podcast courtesy of Popluck. You can find more episodes of Spoiler Force Podcast on Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, YouTube, or on Facebook at facebook.com/popluckpodcast.
Hey, this is Van Brooks, and you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast.
Alright, so this is episode 42 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky, and thank you for tuning in. So if you hear me breathing heavy when I'm talking, I literally just got done scarfing food down my face. I had DoorDash from... I had checkers through DoorDash, so I'm still trying to calm down with the food. Before I get started, let me thank LP and Hmong Productions for letting me use their tracks for my podcast. And thank you guys. Support them. Support LP and TL and all those guys. So there was a schedule change on tonight's episode. Originally, I had T-Bone on the menu, originally slated as my guest for tonight. I know that was a big one, but due to scheduling conflicts and he was busy with his own professional stuff too. So I have a good guest that's back on, someone who's been on the podcast before and someone who's always down to be on the podcast whenever. Here's my guest. He needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. Here's Andrew Lee. Thank you for coming through last minute, man.
Yeah.
All right.
We're actually not in the same room.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, we are actually communicating through Discord. We're using this is a good way for Andrew to test out his new Yeti mic he got. So shout out to Blue and their Yeti mics. Give us a sponsor, please. Their mics are badass. It's worth the investment.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds clear. You sound clear. I sound clear. Hey, it's a good investment if you're ever in the market of podcasting, or if you ever want a podcast, or just record anything in general.
Even stream, you can hear my stream on Facebook or YouTube. It's very clear. Doesn't pick up any feedback. If there's only feedback if you have a not messy, but a noisy background. But if it's quiet, it's super clear. But anyways, how have you been, man? I know we haven't seen each other in a while. I think the last time I saw you was 2 weeks ago. But we haven't really gotten a chance to catch up. I know you've been busy with work and with your own personal life. And I've been busy with the podcast too. So how have you been, man?
I'm good, dude. I just got, the moment you hit me up, I actually just walked through the door.
You were eating kapong, and for those of you who know, kapong is a rice noodle dish with curry broth and bamboo shoots, and whether you use pork or chicken, it's very good. Depends on the curry though. Some people like the curry thicker, some like the more watered down curry, but I believe it's a Thai dish. It's definitely not Hmong, but it's really good though. And maybe it's Laos. We don't know our cultural foods.
We take our food from everybody else.
No, but
we just pretty much just take other people's food and make it our own.
Right. But what's funny though, when Andrew was talking about how he had kapong, I'm like, shit, that sounds good. I haven't had curry in a minute. I was like, damn, I was actually tempted to just leave the house and go, I'm about to go grab a bowl. Yeah, but...
The only place I know that that serves it is Bangkok City.
That's right. Okay.
They're probably closed right now.
Yeah, their food's pretty good. So, again, with Andrew jumping on last minute, this is going to be a great way for us to kind of just nerd out on the most recent stuff that's happened. I know that we, on our personal chat, Andrew and I, we talk a lot. We talk a lot from Demon Slayer to the new Batman suit that got revealed, the set. Dude, that shit was hot today. Everyone was releasing photos of the set, or not the set, but a scene from the set.
Yeah, it's been the last couple of weeks. It's been a very, very, very big topic and big deal. I mean, for a while, people shit on Robert Pattinson for being Batman, but after the test video came out, everyone's like, "Oh man, dude, this looks awesome."
You think it's kind of like the Ben Affleck thing?
Fans aren't ever too happy whenever something gets released and someone gets announced. They want I don't know what people expect, but it's whenever someone has a stigma from a previous acting gig, it's everyone's like, "Oh no, they're terrible. The last movie sucked," or I don't know. When Robert Pattinson was in Twilight, everyone like obviously Twilight is more targeted towards like the female audience, and dudes are really like, oh man, dude, that sucks. Robert Pattinson, guy who was playing a vampire in like a female story, it's like he's playing Batman. We can't allow that, and it's just because of who he played last time. I mean,
Yeah,
I really don't.
but
Yeah,
that's what
I really
sucks
don't
about
think
him too, though. Because he got typecast as Edward this whole time, and like the thing was like he wasn't even Edward first. Wasn't he in Harry Potter, and then he became Edward after.
Yeah, he was what's his name?
Like Cedric or something, right?
Yeah, Cedric Diggory. Yeah, as a
Yeah.
Harry Potter fan, I can't believe it slipped my mind. Yeah, he was Cedric Diggory for a while. Dude, I think I feel like if he wasn't cast as Edward, and he was just Cedric, like he probably wouldn't have so much of a negative, a negative response to when he was announced as Batman. Honestly, like from the start, I think Yumi talked about it. I thought he was a good choice. I we haven't seen him act anything like this before, and I think he's a good actor. It's just the fact that he was Edward. Honestly, he didn't even like those movies, so I'm pretty sure that explains why if you see him act in that movie, he probably didn't take it as serious because he didn't like being in those films in the first place. But contracts and everything.
Yeah.
But I thought he was a good choice. I mean, he has a jaw, and I think
He makes a good young Bruce Wayne. Like if you
Yeah.
haven't seen his other films, he's actually really good. Now
Yeah.
the thing is though, is the biggest question I think is his action sequences. I know he's been taking some jujitsu classes. He's put on some weight, but nothing massive like Ben Affleck. But he's definitely gonna have more of the slim look, like the comic book type look, and he's not gonna be bulking huge like in the animated series.
honestly, I don't think any of the Batmans besides Christian Bale and Ben Affleck actually bulked up. I mean, if you look at Adam West, the original Batman. I mean, there's a guy before him, but Adam West. Do you think he bulked up to be Batman?
They just put on the suit and went on the set.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at was it Michael Keaton? I don't think
Yeah,
he
Keaton.
he didn't even take his shirt off once. I don't think I think the only Batman that I can think of that took off the shirt was Val Kilmer. Prior to I'm talking about before Christian Bale and Ben Affleck. I think the only person that I remember taking the shirt off was Val Kilmer when after Dick Grayson showed up in his Robin suit. He
Yeah.
was being patched up. That's the only time I've ever seen any Batman ever take their shirt off. And
Like,
well,
you
yeah,
show, like-
before that, yeah, before then, no one ever really cared about the the person's physique. They just cared about who was playing and what they looked like.
Right, it was definitely more about the face. That's why Clooney got the role for Bruce Wayne, because he had the face. But
Yeah, and he was as great as a actor Clooney is, and how he's this Hollywood's hottest dude. He wasn't a good Batman. It's just
nah.
people people like to shit on other people, but dude, him and Val Kilmer are probably the ones who are the least favorites of the Batmans. So to put Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson in that category, I don't know, it's not unfair. For one, Robert Pattinson hasn't shown us anything yet from Batman. So
Right,
I
he's
think-
still got to give us this first film. People jump on Affleck and Pattinson. I'm gonna be honest. I was one that jumped on Affleck when he was announced, only because he was so shitty in Daredevil, right? But
Yeah.
people forget Affleck's a fantastic actor too, and
yeah, I mean, not every actor has been in good movies. I mean, they've all great actors has been in crappy movies. I mean, Ben Affleck a bunch of crappy movies back in the day, and he did a lot of Kevin Smith movies that wasn't really that good, but look, his career still kind of picked up, and
right.
he's Ben Affleck. Everyone knows Ben Affleck.
Yeah, so but I'm looking forward to Robert Pattinson for sure. What do you think about Colin Farrell? That's gonna play Penguin.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I thought he was playing. Is he playing Penguin?
I think so. It's not Jonah Hill. Ever,
Yeah.
Jonah Hill is such a terrible choice for fucking Penguin, man. I don't know why people wanted that.
Because of his size. Oh, his former size.
It just
Yeah.
all I'm
So
gonna think of like is super bad though. Imagine him being Penguin, like just being spazzy.
I can see him as Bolek, but I don't know. I guess things didn't work out because he wanted like big money. But
Right, that's right. He's not even in the the cast anymore, right?
yeah, he was just negotiating, but things didn't work out. So, like I said, he wanted big money from what I heard. I mean, I didn't read up on it or anything. I just kind of like saw captions or something, or heard from somewhere that it's unconfirmed stuff, but like from what I heard, he just wanted like the same pay as Ron Pattinson or whoever was getting paid huge money. So, I honestly, for whatever role he is in and whatever, like, I guess his name value to me isn't screaming big money, especially for a character he's gonna be playing.
Yeah, I mean, he is a good actor too, but I don't think he's top tier. I mean, he had some good movies for sure. He was like Moneyball with Brad Pitt, and Wolf of Wall Street with DiCaprio. He was really good, but he's like again, he's a typecast kind of guy. He's gonna play that funny, goofy character. No one's gonna take him seriously.
No, I mean he could prove us wrong by picking a role and being really good at it, but as of right now, it's like the way people see him, it's like they're not gonna think he's, especially whatever role he was looked to be cast as. Like I don't know, I don't think it's worth that much money unless if it's like I don't know, uh, who's John Brolin. Like if it was like a John Brolin playing Thanos, yeah, okay, sure,
Right. Yeah. No.
give him that money, but.
I think he would have been if Jonah Hill was still casted, right? I think if anything, he would probably be a good calendar man.
Calendar Man, like even maybe he wasn't meant to be played. Maybe he wasn't looked to play it as a villain. Maybe like I don't know, Bullock or
Right, like a cameo character, kind of.
yeah, well, like a supporting character or someone who I don't know. Like I said, we don't know what role he was asked to try for, but it was something. I mean,
But I can see him as Bullock though. I mean, give him some longer hair or the hat. I can kind of see him like a young Bullock.
yeah, like Jonah Hill plays that character who's like who has no confidence and like people's decisions. Like he'll be like how like Jim Gordon, like as Jim Gordon's partner, he's always like, dude, why are you always on this Batman guy? Like Batman's a criminal, blah blah blah. And I could see Jonah Hill playing that role.
Yeah, always like questioning Jim Gordon, like, and the way how he talks to, he's kind of got that voice for it too. Like he's always gonna be like telling Jim Gordon, I don't think you should trust Batman. Da, 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 da. He's definitely gonna be perfect. Like man, they should have just casted him for Harvey.
Yeah, right. Like I said, that's just you and me like typecasting him ourselves.
Right. But speaking of Jim Gordon, okay, so DCeased Unkillables came out this week. Unfortunately, you were able to read it before me. So when you sent me the text, you were like, "Did you read it yet?" And usually, because not lately, I have to buy my books on Friday now. I can't get them on Wednesday. I go in on Tuesdays at my comic shop, organize what I want, pick it up on Friday. But since you've read it, you were like, "Read it, Ricky. It's really good." So I had to read it digitally. And damn, DCeased delivered again. What did you think of that, dude?
Dude, I was reading it and I was like, okay, let's see what else they can do. And dude, I didn't think about like the people who wasn't in the story like when it first came out, but I thought it was great. I mean, what they did with Deathstroke, I mean, I thought it was cool, but I'm still not convinced that the reason why he's not affected is his healing mechanism, because there's a lot of other heroes who are like, I don't know. I assume some of them were able to heal as quick as Deathstroke, but it's like just the fact that he isn't affected by the virus because of his healing mechanism just doesn't make sense. Because you look at like Cyborg. Cyborg could have been affected, right?
I think Cyborg wasn't affected because
he was immune, right?
Yeah, he was immune because I think it jumped out of him into the internet. And but the things too, like, but look at the Flash. The Flash can heal really fast. Superman can heal.
Yeah. So it's like, how is it that Deathstroke was the only one who wasn't as infected, And who else? They mentioned someone else. I forget who else. It was that with one villain that I'm not so. I think this is the first
Oh,
one I
that
actually.
reptile villain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm not
Reaper
familiar
or
with them
whatever.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, the creeper. I don't know. Like I guess he has healing mechanism and he's unaffected by it too. But I find it hard to believe that's the reason why. But
The only thing I can say is that in the book, Deathstroke wasn't bit or he wasn't scratched. He just saw his phone and then that's it. But the thing too
yeah,
though, but with Superman and the Flash though, they got bit and they got, or at least the Flash got bit and then the Flash collided with Superman and he broke through Superman's skin. But at the same time, those heroes got much. I believe that they have a much better healing factor than Deathstroke does.
yeah. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I'm not as convinced yet. But the whole Rose, like I keep forgetting that she could actually see the future or the potential futures.
I
So
had
it's
no
like when
idea. As much as I've been reading and watching Deathstroke stuff, I had no idea Rose Wilson had that power.
yeah, she has that power. Like, I remember reading it somewhere. I just forgot that she had that power. But like, yeah, like when Deathstroke was like contacting her, hey, come out. It's like I can't, like, no matter which way I think of, it's like, or whichever way I decide to go, I see death, like me dying, or like, especially when you saw her like looking, if when she went through the door, it's like, oh, they're right in front of the door. But yeah, I thought that was cool. They brought her in, you know, made her a character in the story, and but my favorite part was all of the Jason Todd stuff. Like, I'm not really
Yeah,
too huge of a Jason Todd fan or like a Red Hood fan. I mean, Mark is, but like I'm just, yeah, it's cool. Jason Todd, Red Hood, anti-villain.
I
Isn't like
thought I thought Red Hood was gonna turn. I didn't think they were gonna write it to where he survived, and I was
yeah,
surprised to see Cassandra in there too.
yeah. I mean, they're really like we forgot about them in the earlier release. Like
Yeah.
the main story. It's like, oh, okay. Now I think about it, I didn't see, because I remember I saw Bluebird and
Yep.
Bluebird. I remember seeing
Bluebird,
Bluebird,
Batgirl.
Huntress,
Yeah.
Batwoman, Batgirl. I remember seeing the Birds of Prey, but I don't remember seeing Cassandra, and I don't remember seeing Jason Todd. I know both Robins, Tim Drake and yeah, Tim Drake and Dick
Nightwing.
Grayson. They
Yeah.
they both turned. Yeah, they both turned, and I was like, okay, well, yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't think I remember seeing Jason Todd. Which I like the fact that they're taking these not major characters, and making them into major characters in these stories. I love the fact that Jim Gordon's actually playing a role. Like, now you know what happened to Jim Gordon because you didn't see what happened to him.
Right.
I think the only surprising death to me in this one was Bullock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
He.
yeah,
Cassandra
yeah,
Cain had to snap his neck. That was wild as fuck.
yeah, dude. It's sad though seeing you know, like you and me were talking in our chat, dude, when Jason Todd went there and was like, oh yeah, we gotta leave, and Gordon was like, no, dude, we gotta find Barbara, and he's like, well, Barbara's dead, and this whole time it's like, did he really know who the Bat family was, or was he just in denial? And
Right.
like
Yeah. We
giving
we talked about this. Yeah.
yeah, and he was just, and to us, like, now I think about it, I think he was just in denial. I think he knew, but like, I how I was saying to you earlier, like, I think the reason why he was in denial was because if he did admit that he knew who they were as a cop, as his duty, he would have to go after them.
Yep. For sure. Especially knowing that like Barbara is Batgirl. Like he'd have to go after his daughter. He'd have to go after Batman and pretty much the Bat family overall. He can't risk that because they're doing things that he can't do by the book. And so he
Yeah,
has
and
to be in denial and say, okay, you know what? I don't know who they are. Just let them do whatever they do.
he would be looked at as an accomplice, especially of his daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, well, we will have to take you in too.
Right. Then he's
So
going to
it's
get
like,
questioned and then it's crazy. Fucking got
yeah.
them.
But yeah, like I think a part of really new. I mean, you think about the Batman anime series. Remember the one where Barbara got infected by the Joker toxin, and it kind of took you into reality of everyone being dead, or Barbara being dead, and then Gordon was chasing after like Batman and Robin. And
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that episode.
so it's like, it's because he knew, like, a part of him knew that it was them. Even they even did it in the Arkham Knight game where they even tease the fact that he knew all along, or he kind of like had an idea. So for a lot of stuff that I've read or seen and played, it's like he's always had the idea, but he just didn't want to admit it. He was just in denial. It was heartbreaking, and you and me, we both knew what happened to Barba. I mean,
Yeah.
reading the
Well, Harley and
original
Ivy
one.
took out the birds of prey, which I thought that was a cool panel. You know, like
Yeah.
she was like, "Let's go bird hunting" or something like that, and then like she has the hammer or the bat in her hands,
Yeah.
or the mallet. Yeah, but that was pretty cool.
Yep.
But kind of going back to Jim though, you know, I don't think he's dumb enough to. Like, he's not dumb. That's the thing. People keep thinking like he's just a dumb cop. He's not. He instinctually knows what he's doing as a cop, and based on his instincts, it's obvious that he knows something's up with Batman in them. Like, there's no way he'd give them that many passes, and
Yeah, he just has morals. I mean,
Yeah.
he just has the good guy moral. I mean, like
and that's like his biggest flaw too. Is like he's just too much of a good guy that he kind of just lets everything slide. That's
all of
what am I
the whole
looking?
Gotham.
Yeah,
The whole Gotham series, it's like they're showing that in all Gotham, like no matter how much someone tries to pay him off, he's not gonna be corrupted. You know,
yeah.
that's just him.
But then, don't you see the irony in that though? Like how he won't get paid off as a cop, like by like the mob and stuff. But he lets Batman and them get away with everything. He's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
technically they're fighting crime, so I guess.
In a way, like when you look at the corruption, it's like who's gonna side with more, like the corruption.
Yeah, picking the lesser of the two evils. He's like, I
Yeah.
guess Batman.
Yeah. And because Batman's more on his side, he's like, all right, okay then. It also plays with his mind, saying, all right, this is the right thing to do. And he's like my friend, my best friend, or one of my best friends. It's like he's the only one I could trust because everyone else is like a piece of shit. I mean, look at like Bullock's the next closest thing, and you know he knows what kind of guy Bullock is. You know.
But that's something though. I mean, like having Batman trust you, knowing that you're like one of the last of the few good cops. That's a lot to put on your like plate when you really think about it for Jim Gordon. That's why the dude's always stressed out.
Yeah. I mean, I've only watched one episode of the Harley Quinn show, but in that show, like the first episode, you see Harvey Dent, like not Harvey Dent, Jim Gordon. It's like they made his character as if he's like, stressed out, like he's just had enough of a cop. Like you watched the show, right?
I actually finished the last episode like half an hour ago.
I only watched the first episode.
I'll talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that because we're gonna talk about the Birds of Prey stuff too. So, or the movie at least later on. But
I
yeah.
haven't seen it yet, but yeah, you can talk.
You haven't seen Birds of Prey yet? I thought you did.
No, I chose it was either Birds of Prey or Sonic, and I had Crystal with me, so I'm like, all right, which one would she rather see, and which one would I rather see more? Or I decided to watch Sonic over Birds of Prey, and
Oh, because I thought you did. Because I think one of the comments you posted, I was like, because he said we're gonna rip Birds of Prey to shreds. I figured you already
I
watched
still haven't
it.
seen it. I haven't seen it, but then I assume. I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but I assume we were gonna rip it to shreds. But
Oh, okay.
Or-
I misread it. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
No, but back
Yeah.
to DCeased. Yeah, like Jason Todd's encounter with Joker. You know, he saw the Joker's body on the floor, and he's like, "Damn, I wish I was the one that killed you." And then he,
yeah, that was deep. I mean, they play back to a lot of stuff, and like I said, Joker has been messed with Jason Todd. Like he's the reason why Jason Todd's the way he is.
yeah. And
Yeah, I mean-
like it's like a tangent here though. You know, like the next Joker thing, he's gonna go after Grayson. Did you see? Did you ever see? Did you see that? Like in the recent news, like Joker is gonna go after Rick Grayson. I can't stand that Rick Grayson. That's so fucking stupid. Just let it be Dick Grayson.
If you're gonna, I mean, we all make fun of the name, but it's like, dude, come on, it's still a name. I mean,
Rick Grayson just sounds so wrong. It's like, who the fuck is Rick Grayson?
just Rick by itself. I mean, I know you're Ricky, but Rick just by itself just sounds kind of boring, dude. Like, makes you sound.
It doesn't go well with Grayson, like the actual character Grayson. Like the name doesn't roll off the tongue well. Like everyone knows that that's Dick Grayson or Grayson. No one calls him Richard Grayson or Rick. I mean, his name is Richard, but like the only one who's ever called him Richard was what, Alfred or Batman. That's it. But everyone calls him Dick.
I don't think I know anyone besides his love interest call him Richard. Like whenever they're trying to You know how girls are. Like girls are like, girls would call you by your whole name just because they can. Like Crystal calls me by my full name all the time just because she can, and it's like she has fun saying it. So the only people who would ever call Dick Grayson Richard is whoever he's sleeping with.
his love interest.
Yeah, they're like Richard Grayson or Richard whatever his middle name is, Grayson. Like, yeah, but yeah, with Jason Todd, like, dude, like I think his stuff in that. This is probably one of my favorite moments of Jason. Like I don't ever think about favorite moments of Red Hood or Jason Todd besides the movie or the comic. But like I think this is the only time that I ever really cared about Red Hood. I mean, when he walked into the Batcave and saw like everyone dead, it's like, dude, that's just kind of like heartbreaking. And he even called Batman a bastard, even though he knows he loves Batman.
And fucking Ace survived, dude. I'm like, dude, like
Yeah.
I'm a dog owner, right? So like, the fact that Ace survived and Ace sees that and then he notices Jason, like he went straight to Jason. I'm like, all right, that's a good ass dog too, and the fact that Jason,
Alfred left him.
yeah, and no, and two, that, oh my god, that's fucked up, right?
Left him.
He just left him in the cave, like, yeah, you on your own, bro.
That's so messed up. Yeah, now I think about like, man, he left him. Alfred, he took the bat suit and just
Right, and he
left.
took the plane and he dipped. He's like, screw this. But like even with Jason though, like he looked back and told Ace the dog, he's like, "Are you gonna come in or what?" Like, and the dog jumps in the Batmobile and they take off. And then it goes to your favorite part, right, where he has the Joker on the
Yeah.
fucking hood of the Batmobile.
Dude, I was just like, dude, that's just funny. It's like, all right, this gives him something, like something, like a trophy or something. I don't know, like that's just, it's terrible. Like, don't get me wrong, it's bad. I'll never do that in my life. I don't think I could ever think about doing that stuff. 'Cause that shit just freaks me out. But like just to see that, like, man, that's funny. It shouldn't be, but yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, it's like the thing too though. It looked like a Dark Knight's moment kind of thing. You know how Capullo and Scott Snyder, they have that kind of writing style where it's like medieval.
Yeah.
I thought that would have matched Dark Knights pretty well. But with Red Hood though, I mean, I thought it was pretty funny, and the fact that Jim Gordon's in the car with him is like, really, we gotta do this, and he's like, yeah, this is the apocalypse. So he just takes off, and then like they go to at the end of the book, they go to the orphanage, and like Jim Gordon tells him like, yeah, they don't trust us because you got the fucking body on the car.
Alright, I'll take it now. So going to the orphanage, who do you think is the hero supposedly that has been helping them?
Dude, I didn't even get a chance to think about that. That's actually
I
good.
didn't think it.
That's a good question though.
Yeah, because I was wondering that too. Like I can't think of any that. I mean,
Maybe Supergirl, but I don't think she died. Did she?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure like the moment she shows up, it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's got to be someone who's strong enough to close the door and then lock it. Because you know how like they had that metal metal rod that was already bent up. So I think my first choice would definitely be Supergirl, but I don't remember her dying in the original run of DCeased.
I don't remember her too. I don't remember her dying either. But I'm trying to like. Every time I try to think of somebody, like I know they died already. Like it can't be Wonder Woman because she was with everyone else. It's someone strong enough, someone who's able to protect them.
Maybe
And
Artemis.
Could be. Could be Artemis. I was saying maybe it could even be Talia. Talia
Damn,
al Ghul or Lady
Talia
Shiva
with like
or,
with the Bane gas.
yeah, someone who like I think it has to be someone who's still like it could be it could be an anti-villain or a villain like who has sympathy for kids.
Yeah,
Um,
Talia would be a good one because she's. I
Yeah.
mean, she's not sympathetic towards kids, but she still has a child.
Yeah, so I mean, it has to be someone who, like, if it's a bad guy, it has to be someone who sympathizes. But they're already kind of like, it's already like a spoiler for like, even though we haven't read the next issue, but just reading the the too big into you type stuff, it's saying like you can't trust kids or animals. So I think something's gonna happen to Ace and the kids.
Maybe there's Cheetah, because I think Cheetah's
It could
still
be
around,
Cheetah.
right? Oh no, but wasn't
Yeah.
Cheetah? The Cheetah's with Deathstroke in them. No, it doesn't count. Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's with Deathstroke
So-
in them.
Or
it's-
it could have been Cheetah, and actually Deathstroke, the team recruited him, because remember they said that that lady's been gone for a while. So
Oh
if it's
yeah,
Cheetah-
maybe.
Yeah, they probably recruited Cheetah. Like I said, it's gonna have to. They're gonna. There's a reason why you have Deathstroke's team and Jason Todd in the same book. They're gonna end up coming together eventually. So that
But
can be a reason why they go back together, playing a role and everything. So
But you know what's crazy though? This is all taking place during the time of DCeased, right? Right before
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
leaves. So obviously at the end, it's either they're all gonna die or they're gonna find a way out.
I think the end is gonna like the end of DC is when they actually you know how DCs they try to recruit everybody to like keep all the survivors safe.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna end with them actually meeting up with the surviving characters from the last the main storyline.
like they're on that ship with them.
Yeah, so I think with this version of DC, this storyline, it's gonna focus on them trying to survive, but it's also its own standalone story. There's gonna be a big fight somewhere. It's
Yeah,
gonna I think it's like any zombie apocalypse stuff. There's always like humans fighting humans. There's not gonna be humans fighting zombies all the time. There is gonna be a betrayal somewhere like, oh, this group they need to survive somehow, so yeah, I kill this group. It's like that with every zombie story. Yeah, so I think one of those two groups are gonna clash, and like it's gonna be a big fight between the two of them.
my thoughts is I think Deathstroke's gonna be the one that betrays him. I think he's gonna notice something fishy with Vandal Savage too. And then he's gonna like, all right, screw this, and he's gonna go after Vandal Savage. Cause like Deathstroke's never been one to be with the team anyway. He's always solo. So he's definitely gonna be one that's gonna be one to watch out from. If anything, like they always do, they might have him go contend with like Deadshot, but I'm surprised even Deadshot's still alive. He was just in the book. I'm like, okay, they just used him.
I'm surprised that they have him and Deathstroke together. Like,
Right.
they're almost, like to me, they're very close to being the same type of character.
Right, yeah,
But
they're just like both good assassins. That one's just has more weapons and one's just really good with guns. And no, the thing like Mirror Master, out of all the Flash Rogue villains, it's fucking Mirror Master that survived. He was in the Mirror universe the whole time.
Yeah, I mean that helps him, and you thought he was Riddler for a second, but
Yeah, because you know what the thing was, on Tuesdays, like I said, I get a chance to look at the books before they're sold, so I was just quickly skimming through Unkillables, and I thought that was Riddler because of the green, and then you're like, Riddler, he's not in there. I had to go back and read
I don't
his
remember that.
right. It's fucking Mirror Master.
I was so confused. I'm like, who are you talking about?
Right.
Oh,
What book did you read?
it's like we're just testing each other. Did you really read it? Oh, did you really look at it? Like, you liar.
But you know what's good about DCeased though is like because Tom Taylor, the writer, he's so good. I think he was with Walking Dead, so it has that Walking Dead kind of feeling to it too.
Yeah, they needed somebody who has the experience of writing zombie stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of like how we were talking about like the Birds of Prey, we're not gonna talk about the movie yet, but like it's what was I gonna say? I was gonna transition this to Cassandra Cain. That's right. I was gonna talk about Cassandra Cain. Like the way how she looks in the book is fucking badass. I love her suit, the slick black, and then like with the blades on her forearms, and like with a little bit of yellow to it.
Yeah, so is that her new suit? Like, I don't remember, because the last time I saw Cassandra King was in Detective, and I stopped reading Detective, so I didn't know if they upgraded to her being Batgirl. Did they make her into Batgirl again?
I have Batman and the Outsiders. I know she's with Lucas. I think, or is that name Lucas or Luke?
Yeah,
the daytime Batman hero. She's with them. I don't know. I haven't caught up yet. Maybe she's upgraded her suit, but I definitely like the new look though. It's much better than her first look, than the orphan look. But yeah, I say this because like Cassandra Cain in the movie Birds of Prey was so shitty compared to the comic book. So when I do read anything Cassandra Cain in the comic books, I geek out because she's like low key one of my favorite characters since the Batman and Robin Eternal, because that's the first series that I've even discovered her. So since that book or that run, I've been obsessed with her character. The fact that she's just a killer kid and she's just learning how to talk and everything. She's like the DC version of X-23 pretty much.
So the first time I was introduced to Cassandra King, I was actually listening to a No Man's Land on audio.
Is that
and
the
she was
comic
in it
story?
too. Not their comic story. I found it somewhere on a torrent site and listened to it all.
Oh, okay.
I know they did convert some stories into like a regular book, so I think it was just coming off of the audio story was coming off of a book. I mean, they did it for Long Halloween too, but you could actually download Long Halloween on like on Apple iStore. So that's how I actually like listened or read all of Long Halloween. But yeah, so Cassandra King was just like how Batman Eternal was. Like she was an orphan. Her well, not really much an orphan, but her dad is David King. She was the same thing. She was a mute. You know, like it's not like she didn't have a tongue, but like she did when she did talk, it wasn't like she wasn't able to pronounce words. She was pretty much the same thing, but like from just watching the trailers of the movie, you just knew it wasn't gonna be who Cassandra Cain really is. I mean, movies never really go according to like what it's based off of, but she just wasn't Cassandra Cain, like someone who like not a trained assassin, was someone who wouldn't be able to like take on a group of men, you know?
The thing is, the actress, she didn't have the look. I understand that's Dante Bosco's niece or goddaughter, and I respect Dante Bosco a lot because he has a lot of roles in Hollywood, but you gotta pick an Asian girl that looks like Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain looks like a killer. The girl that they picked, she looked like some random Asian girl off the street. Like just some random school kid. And I was like, that was not a good casting choice. I don't blame her. I blame the writers too for writing Cassandra's character like that. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go on with the movie because you haven't seen it yet, so I won't say much more.
From what I heard, they didn't change the name. They just kind of shortened it for like movie theater purposes.
Yeah, so they can just go and look and say like, oh, Harley Quinn. I saw that too. I think it was IGN that posted up.
Yeah, that's just like either way, that's just such a long name. Like the original title they had. Like
Yeah, the emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Like, what the fuck? Like,
like I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say Birds of Prey or featuring Harley Quinn or Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey or something like that. That would have worked out better. But
I know you haven't seen the movie yet, but what did you think of the casting for Huntress? Because wasn't she the girl from Scott Pilgrim?
let me look that up. So Mary Elizabeth Weinstead. Yeah, she was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, that was she. She looks a little bit older now, but like, yeah, I thought she did pretty good as Huntress. But what do you think? Like, you haven't seen it, but so what's your first thought? The fact that she's playing Huntress.
I don't know. I have to see how she plays in the.
Because I know you liked her a lot in Scott Pilgrim. Her and then Brie Larson.
She's okay. So she's the one that plays what's her name? The main love interest, right?
Yeah, the girl that dyes her hair a lot.
I'm looking at her now. I'm just like, man, I don't know, cause I guess. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I can't see it. I can't see her being.
Like a kick-ass hero.
Yeah. I'm looking at a picture right now. It's like I can't see it now. The fact that with the Crow crossover, putting everything in the same universe, they can just immediately scrap it if it doesn't work out.
Oh yeah,
They pretty much.
Speaking of crossovers, what did you think of? I didn't watch the Infinite Crisis stuff, but did you watch it, right?
Yeah, I watched it. They should have ended like with the fourth episode. It was 5 episode crossover. They should have ended at the fourth one, but I guess they wanted to show the fact that they merged all the universes together.
What did you think of that? What did you think of the Ezra Miller cameo?
I thought it was one of the best kept secrets. That was what confirmed the fact that everything is connected, which I liked. I mean, for all we know, Warner Bros. Could just scrap that altogether, but like. I thought it was cool. I mean, it was nice. It was something cool, and if they were to tie it into the movies, like the best place to tie it in to is if they were to make Flashpoint.
And
You know?
maybe recast Ezra Miller with Grant Gustin and have him on the big screen, because I know that's what a lot of fans want. Honestly, this is my opinion, but I feel like Grant Gustin has been a big letdown as the Flash. People are gonna hate me for that, but he's been a big letdown. I've only liked him for seasons 1 and 2. After that, he was trash.
After you go on that long as a character on a TV show, it's like there's bound gonna be some character changes and like continuity issues and character issues.
And I can't stand the idea that the CW stuff. I know that they're more focused on younger viewers, but the whole teamwork thing is what irritated me. Because by this point, the Flash should be on his own. He doesn't need a team.
No, he's always been on his own. But like I said, yeah, another thing about the whole CW thing, they do focus too much on that stuff. But it is what it is. I mean, they want to be able to focus on other people too. Like kind of, they can't give a show to everybody, and they can't showcase everyone out there in the universe. So this is the only best option that they can think of, because they did it with Smallville, didn't they? He had a team for a little bit. They
Yeah,
formed
for
their own like Justice League.
sort of. But then that was just Smallville though. Like Smallville was its own thing. It wasn't like as big as the CW stuff.
I mean, it was CW.
I mean, like it was like not the Arrowverse pretty much. It wasn't like big like Arrowverse where there was multiple shows going at once and crossing over. Smallville was its own thing. And with that too, I'm glad that they wrapped up Smallville with the crossover. Cuz like
Yeah, I actually did not watch all of Smallville. I think I've only seen. I remember I started to hop on Smallville when they introduced Oliver Queen in the show, and then like I wasn't able to keep up with it every single week, so I just kind of stopped.
I've seen like
actually-
highlights of the show, like when they showed the Flash kid, Green Arrow, and just like towards the end.
Yeah, it was actually Smallville is the reason why I actually ended up becoming a fan of the Green Arrow. So when they did an Arrow show, I was actually pretty excited about it, because I said I started to enjoy Green Arrow because of that show, because it was a cool character in my opinion.
Yeah, but you know the thing too though, like the Smallville version, the guy who plays him, Justin Hartley, he's on This Is Us. But him playing Oliver Queen, he's kind of more of that witty version from the comics, versus Stephen Amell's version. Stephen Amell's Green Arrow is more douchey.
It was pretty much Batman, dude.
Yeah, he's like,
It's pretty much they couldn't do Batman, so they do Green Arrow. Or they use the Stephen Amell's version as Batman, and now like it comes to the point where they could probably start using Batman now. The fact that, like I said, the whole crossover, they finally have a Batman as Kevin Conroy, but you didn't see him in the bat suit. You just a broken old Kevin Conroy.
what did you think though? I think you did geek out too, because like I geeked out when you hear his voice. You don't see him, but
Yeah.
you,
So I was watching it at work. My heart started to drop, and like I was starting to get really emotional. I don't know why. I get so emotional, like, oh my gosh, finally. And it was kind of like one of those, what was like the nostalgic feels, like he walks down in the scene, and I was like, oh my gosh, finally him, Kevin Conroy, after all these years. And it's the fact that he's always been Batman. Like to me, he pretty much my first Batman. Like when you hear Batman, you think of Kevin Conroy's voice. So
yeah, I think any fan that like reads Batman, that's the only voice you can hear. You don't hear Val Kilmer, you don't hear Keaton or Bale or Batfleck. You hear Kevin fucking Conroy's voice when you read the books.
Well, the first, like I said, when the Tim Burton and Joe Schumacher Batman, even Adam West Batman, didn't have a unique voice.
Yeah,
they didn't disguise their voices at all. I mean, I guess Kevin Conroy kind of did, but it's like there is a difference between like Bruce Wayne and Batman's voice. So they didn't start disguising the voice for a while. So, but yeah, but I said I don't picture anyone else but Kevin Conroy, or at least something similar to Kevin Conroy, you know?
yeah. He's too iconic, and then like what made him so much better too is the fact that Mark Hamill was next to him being Joker, and I think
I am surprised, dude. I'm surprised they actually did not put in Mark Hamill for anything, even like the Trickster. I don't know if they asked him.
wasn't he doing Star Wars?
He was probably doing Star Wars. That's probably why he wasn't in it. But
yeah,
it was surprising.
I don't even want to talk about Star Wars right now because you saw you heard my review on the fucking live stream. Oh man, that shit was so trash.
I mean, it's my own fault for not watching it, but I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews, so I don't know. I'll wait for it to come out.
I think you might like it more than me. I know you're more into Star Wars, and I'm not even that big into Star Wars, but yeah, I thought it was trash. Like it was so bad. It made no sense to me. Like I felt like I wasn't watching a Star Wars. It felt like watching a CW version of Star Wars. That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah, and we'll see. It comes out on DVD like next month, like the end of next month. So I'll catch it. So I'll watch it and see how I like it, and finally review it. Not all the like hype is kind of down for it. Like I could have my own opinion on it.
Right,
So.
and not get like slaughtered on the internet. Like, you're just saying they suck because everyone's saying it.
Like I said,
Okay.
once this all died out, I can have my own opinion. I actually have not read any like reviews. I only know of like the people that hated it, people didn't like it. I don't know why I didn't. Cause I avoided it just because like I don't want to form my own opinion based off of that one review.
I know you've been reading the Demon Slayer manga, and for the listeners, this is your warning right now. We're gonna be talking about Demon Slayer, the
You
manga.
don't you don't call yourself spoiler first for nothing, right?
Right. I want to give a warning because it's Demon Slayer, because I've had my fair shares of the spoilers myself. But now I just don't care anymore. I even got to the point where I was reading the untranslated version.
Well, when I read today, like the 195, like it seemed like it could have been the official, because like when you see like the unofficial translated version, it's like you could tell.
Yeah. No, this was the legit one.
Yeah, it was one of those legit, so it was cool. So
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to go dive too deep into Demon Slayer because that'll be its own episode too. So we're just gonna. I want to talk about just what you think that what's gonna happen, right? So at this point of the story, it's pretty much the final arc. Muzan is gonna die eventually because it's either gonna be the drug that takes him out or the sunlight, and they have less than an hour before the sunrise comes. And Tanjiro and the Snake Pillar are the only ones left fighting him. And then at the end of the panel for 195, Nezuko arrives finally after all that running. But then you see her face, one of her eyes turned human. So what are your thoughts on this theory that I have? Okay, I think I already talked to you a little bit about this, but if Muzan dies, I think Nezuko's gonna die.
I think the fact that Nezuko did take the cure earlier, it's gonna be what saves her, but everyone else is gonna die. All the other demons are gonna die. So I think as she's running, like she still has the demon stuff inside her, so her time as a demon is fading. How I think the show is gonna end, like in general, how Muzan's gonna die. I think what's gonna happen is Tanjiro is gonna like pretty much cut Muzan off up enough, but just keep on. Oh, because Tanjiro is like really sympathetic. Like,
So like you think
So I
even
think
even at the end he won't kill him?
he's not gonna like kill him. He's just gonna let the sun do the thing. Like he's gonna probably like chop up his limbs, kind of like just let him lay there.
It's kind of like a mercy kill, kind of. Not even
Yeah,
a mercy
mercy.
kill. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I
so-
guess you could say it, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much just kind of like, let him see the sun one last time before he goes. Kind of like how Tanjiro really is. Like the whole entire series shows him feeling sorry for all these different types of demons, even after they pretty much, I don't know, they've done horrible stuff, but like he's like, no, they were human once, you know,
Right, there's still
don't
like a
disrespect
touch of mercy as he kills them.
yeah. So I think that's gonna be Muzan's mercy in a way. Like he's just gonna like wound him enough, as horrible as Muzan is, like he's just gonna do it to where he can't heal anymore because obviously we've seen it where the reason why he's covered himself up so much because all the scars and everything left by
By
what's
Yorichi,
his
yeah.
Yorichi. Yeah, so pretty much Tanjiro's gonna do his sun dances and everything, like his sun breaths, and just wound him enough where he can't move anymore, and just kind of like just let the sun do its thing. Let him have that one final, let me take a look at the sun before I die type of stuff, and then there you go. And everyone lives and as a handicapped person for the rest of their lives.
Dude, all the pillars got fucked up, dude.
Yeah, they're like it's like I can't say they live happily ever after.
Because Tomioka lost his arm, the rock pillar lost a leg. They haven't shown the wind pillar yet, but he's out. And then the snake pillar is blind because he lost his eyes. And then the love pillar is near death because she got fucked up too. And I think
they're all gonna be messed up, but then like for them, I guess that's gonna be the most peaceful life they'll ever live. Like they don't have to worry about anything anymore. They can finally retire.
they have to. They all got fucked up.
They got nothing else to do.
But like, what did you think though? Like, as the pillars, they carried the show, man. Like those characters. Like I know the main four is Inosuke, Zenitsu, Tanjiro, Nezuko, but the pillars, all if it wasn't for them, the heroes won't have, like, the main characters don't even shine. Those pillars carried them throughout that whole show of them fighting the demons, the story, all their abilities. And I think they don't, I feel like they don't get the recognition that they deserve.
I think they're just all gonna try to figure out how to live their life after that. Without them, Tanjiro and the rest of the guys wouldn't be where they're at. And I don't really know how to answer that. I think they'll just kind of retire, and I think they're just, like I said, they're just gonna try to learn how to live life without demons. Which to them, it's like I said, it's relaxing, and it's gonna be a new world for them.
I don't know. I feel like those kind of characters, they're gonna struggle with finding peace because they've been fighting for so long. And then they're gonna have like major PTSD. last question or last topic here. The 13th form that Tanjiro has, right? So we learn that Tanjiro's movements for the forms 1 through 12 of the Sun Breath, they're all connected, and it's all about the angles of how he holds the sword. What do you think that 13th form is?
I don't know, maybe like a big burst of sun. It's like he's gonna pull a Superman. It's just burst of sun.
Like, it's like Superman 1,000,000 or something like that. Like, he's all yellow and shit. Like, he just goes Super Saiyan.
The sword's gonna be burst of sun. That's it. I don't know. I can't think. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have that mindset to think. I'm not as creative with that stuff. But if anything, it's just be like, all right, well, it's like a last ditch effort. Like.
Right. That's what I'm thinking too. I think what if it's the last ditch effort to where, like, he does complete the form, and then there's like a cost to it. It's either that, or I feel like it's gonna be, because you know how, like, in the manga they talk about, like, how Yoriichi doesn't have killing intent, so Muzan wasn't able to read him. So I feel like maybe what if that 13th form is something like that, to where Tanjiro just kind of goes into the Zen state and then just takes out Muzan without even doing anything.
Yeah, you know what I think the reason why, now that you mentioned that, the reason why Tanjiro is able to even do it is because he doesn't, like, Tanjiro, like you say, he has that mercifulness. Like, he doesn't really want to kill these things, but he has to.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's something that, like, it's like a Ultra Instinct type thing,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, he just kind of just does it, and then by the time you know it, you're dead.
It's so good that, like I said, it's gonna be so good that I don't know, like, it doesn't seem as it's a kill, it's like you're finding peace, like you find peace, like you're okay with dying, it's probably gonna be one of those deals.
Yeah, dude. If anything, I think maybe that finale, the writers are gonna make everyone feel sympathy to Muzan. No matter how evil this dude was, everyone's gonna feel some sort of way about him.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's almost done, and I think I give it another maybe 2 or 3 months, and we're done. And I think the next time did they confirm the Red Light District's gonna be a movie too?
I don't think so. If it is, then I'm down for it. But I feel that they should start that as season 2. That's enough material already to be season 2. Because that's a long arc. Like,
yeah.
Because I remember when you first read it, you were like, "Holy shit, this is not even done yet." Like, from
it's already, like, the whole, like, thinking back from, was it number 50 that I was reading it from?
Yeah, it's like almost chapter 100.
I don't know. I was
long ass arc.
That is the whole entire, like, dude. That is the whole entire, like, first season right there. And not even the whole entire season, because the movie, the train station's all one a few issues.
Yeah, because the movie is gonna be a whole arc itself, but then I don't know. I was telling my cousin this too. Like, I don't know how they're gonna condense it, because there's so many, not so much important scenes, but in the manga there's, like, details in there, like the dream sequences, when they fight, up to where Rengoku fights Akaza. That's a lot of story in for one movie. So if the movie can be at least an hour and a half, then I think they can do it. But like, for an hour, no, definitely not an hour.
It's talking about the movie.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if the movie's an hour and a half, close to 2 hours, they can actually accomplish that goal of having the whole train station arc done. But then, because like I said, the movie itself, they're gonna cut out a lot of. I feel like they're gonna cut some details from the manga to the movie.
Yeah, they'll probably do that, or they'll probably add their own stuff to the movie to make it longer.
Any last words or thoughts before I wrap up?
None. I mean, it was good. It was a good, kind of last minute get together just to talk about some stuff. I mean, stuff that like I want to talk to somebody about. So
Me too, dude. I have not geeked out in a while, man. Like, I know, like I've been hustling with a lot of these guests to getting new guests, getting new material. It feels good to geek out once in a while. So this was good. This was really good for me, and I know it's good for you too. We haven't gotten together and nerded out like this in a while, so this is good.
yeah, I mean, now we'll be seeing each other more like on like maybe like once or twice a week, just because we attend the same church now, but it's like we don't have time to even talk at church. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
but-
We'll get more into the topics and more into everything, and whenever, like I said, whenever you need an extra person, I just I'm here.
No, thank you for coming through, man. Like I said, I don't like doing this to where if I always go to you as the last person, but like I'm glad you always come through, and this is perfect. I think the timing was just perfect.
Yeah,
it
it was
was
either
just-
or I was just gonna play Monster Hunter the rest of the night.
No, but thank you again, Andrew. And anything you want to plug or shout out or mention or at all? I'm DL for now.
Like I would love to be able to plug the fact I'm gonna be planning on podcast soon too, but I don't want to be saying it and then like have nothing out there. So if there is a thing like I already have the name picked out. Yumi, we kind of talked about that. Like if I finally get out there, just be on the lookout for it. But other than that, like that's it. I mean, just support whatever you love to do and don't be a jerk out there.
If Andrew comes out with the podcast, you'll hear it first on Spoiler First, and definitely on Pop Luck. And before I officially close things, don't forget the Pop Luck page. We have a contest going. Okay, so we're almost at 500 total likes. We're nearly at 500 followers, but we want to get to 500 total likes just based off engagement. Okay, so if you're listening to this, follow the rules. It's so simple. You don't have to do anything crazy. It's a free contest. The prizes are free. Just once you follow all the rules, you'll be into the raffle for it. Once we get to the number that we want, I will go on Facebook Live. I will show the random pick for the people who's in the contest. So I think so far we got like 5 or 6 people that's joined already, and yeah. We're almost there. We're less than 30 people away. So help share that post. If you go on Facebook at Pop Luck, it's the first pinned post. And just, like I said, just read the rules. It's super simple. And yeah, the prizes are good. It's all the prizes came out of my pocket. We had one donation, which is the Dragon Ball Z Funko box from Hot Topic. Our good friend Michael Hang, he donated that to us. So thank you, Michael. And yeah, just go to the rules, and it's free. I will be shipping that out to you too. So, yeah. And again, thank you, Andrew. And so this is the end of the episode. Thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned. I got some more guests coming up, lined up. Next Thursday, I will be having, or not next Thursday, but next Saturday, the 29th, I will be releasing an episode early instead of Sunday. Zhong Lu will be on the podcast. So if you're into beauty care, makeup, anything that's related to her Hmong content, definitely stay tuned for that. This is a big episode, so I'm looking forward to that as well. And then again, shout out to T-Bone on the menu. I know he couldn't make it on the podcast, but I shout him out to him. Get Heavy Records, Stars V, all those guys. I would have loved to have him on the podcast, but we're gonna reschedule soon, and hopefully I can get him on. And Andrew, good luck to your podcast stuff too. I can't wait to see you start your stuff up too. So thank you guys, and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, follow, like, share, comment, and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. For comments, questions, concerns, and criticism, you can email SpoilerForcePodcast at popluckpodcast, POPLUCKPODCAST @gmail.com, or contact me personally on Instagram.com/RickyVang92, RICKYVANG92.